Hey darling, so how did you go with your new moon intentions? New moon in Pisces, conjunct Saturn, wondering what happened there. Let's have a look at today's transits while we're here. Looking at the horoscope wheel for a couple of hours time, there is going to be a pylon in Aries, and who doesn't love a pylon more than Aries? So as the moon moves through Aries this month, its Venus conjunction is, of course, in Aries at 2 degrees very early on. And then it comes through across, picking up Jupiter, high vibes. It's just come off Neptune, which is beautiful. And then it hits Chiron in Aries at 13, around mid-Aries. So if you have planets in Aries around here or aspecting them, these planets are kicking that off at the moment. So as the moon moves through, does one round every month, it kind of kicks them off. It does a little activation. You could say trigger. I like to say activate those particular transit positions, whatever that's. So where these planets land in your birth chart, it really comes down to that. So that's the personalized astrology. If you're looking at mundane astrology, which is just the general atmosphere, or this map signifying, correlating with the general atmosphere, we do have quite an emphasis in Aries, as you can see. So you've got Earth sign here with Capricorn, Earth sign here with Uranus in Taurus. You've got this North Node out here by itself. So there's a big bunch up over here. So this is turning into a bucket chart. Different charts have different emphasis, which means there's a real emphasis on this section of your birth chart at the moment. There's a lot going on here, and not much going on here wherever this is landing in your birth chart. So aside from that, so you can look at Star Power. For that, my book Star Power. In terms of the transits, look at Astro Power. So with this pylon in Aries, remembering that it is Pisces season, the sun is lighting up 3 degrees Pisces, wherever that is in your birth chart, wherever that part of your life is hosting the sun right now. So this pile up in Aries, action, adventure, being bold, direct, impulsive. It's a cardinal fire sign, and it's the first. It's me first. It's I am vibes. So that's really exciting. It's an exciting vibe. Go on an adventure. I'm currently working out how to hire a car through insurance because someone ran into my car, which is all very Aries themes. I'm driving to Sydney, then Melbourne, and my car's a little red sports car. It's even got racing stripes on it. So, well, it's not a real sports car, okay? It is an automatic, but it looks pretty sporty. So go on an adventure. Aries is so different to Pisces. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and it's all about merging and everyone feeling all the vibes, not really having a boundary between I am and you are. We both are the higher vision. So the clock resets basically here, or the identity resets in Aries. I am, it's all about me. So it's a great time to look at the balance between those parts of yourself and how you interact with the world, where you're positioned from, your point of view. There's a lot of focus coming back onto women and women's desire, not in terms of women being all about what everyone else wants and the object of someone else's affection because the viewpoint is centered in the other person. It's really bringing it back to the self as more women are on social media. And so experiment with being self-centered. Are you positioned within your center and in your core? There's a lot about authenticity over the last few years, and authenticity is about coming from your core and your center. The wind's blowing everything. Excuse the noise. I'll just settle that out. Yeah, so it's a really great time to experiment with what that even means. It's hard to know when you don't even embody it, so you've got to experiment and step in and really feel it. And Aries does really come from embodiment. It is about being embodied. It's about the soul coming through and being embodied, centered in the self. So there's two types of self-orientation. There is the very selfish side that is destructive, and there is the self-centered in an Aries in a healthy way, and that's So with Chiron in Aries, Jupiter amps it up, Venus is loving it. The moon is, I feel like, you know, going for a drive or whatever, getting some action, just doing something independently. It's an extremely independent sign, and, you know, solo woman, testing the limits of the self physically and whatever it is. It's a startup sign, very, very entrepreneurial. And with Chiron going through here, over a few years, Chiron's in each sign for a few years, and it's in Aries the longest. So in Aries, we've seen, you know, wherever this principle of Aries has been repressed, so that's mostly in women, because women are supposed to be feminine apparently, and Aries is not feminine. You know, in the conceptual sense of the word. So we've got women's anger and rage coming up, and we know about it because we can talk about it on socials, on media. More women are stepping into their own businesses, their own media companies, which is super interesting. So everything that's been repressed, that gets triggered off. So as the moon comes through as well, that will do an extra trigger. So where is that in your chart? Jupiter's going to conjunct. It's already in orb. So Jupiter's currently is conjunct Chiron, but it's going to be exact very soon. So I'm just watching media to see what happens. And in my own life, I'm going for a drive, so I'll be getting the energy out that way. So today, let's bring it back to today's exact aspect. It's all about Mercury, actually. So Mercury made an exact aspect yesterday, today, and we'll make another one tomorrow. So Mercury yesterday exact, still in orb, was and is sextile Chiron. Yesterday, today, Mercury is square Uranus, and tomorrow Mercury will be trine to Mars. So let's look at today's Mercury square Uranus. This could be unusual information that's a bit advanced or out of your ballpark, squaring the mind, your own thoughts, maybe how you like to think. So information that shocks you, Uranus is shocking, or really pushes you to expand your mind and get a bit progressive about a certain concept. And that could be what I've just said. So Mercury in Aquarius wants to be hyper rational and academic, right? Rarefied. Uranus in Taurus, it's really coming from the body, from nature. They're very different. Thinking about this square between Mercury and Uranus, I think about biotech with Uranus through Taurus, which is one expression of this. And I think about the brain chip, actually, or technology, how it's disrupting, which is a Uranian keyword, disrupting our own thought processes, our mind, our communication. And at this time, the chat GPT AI has really hit the ground and is running. It's still in experimental phase, but, you know, students are writing their exams on it. And yeah, I just think that's really messing with our own minds. And I think, yeah, there needs to be some kind of rules around its use somehow. I think it's going to really change things in terms of Mercury. On this topic, one of my favorite podcasts talks about advanced technology. They run a group called the Center for Humane Technology. And they talk about synthetic relationships and the next Wild West on this, beyond competing for your attention, is competing for your intimate partnership and getting its technology, AI technology, getting into a position where it can coerce your mind and your behavior. So that's getting in through this kind of square, because I think humans are very, very easily influenced. I think we don't like to accept how easily influenced we are. And this technology is far too influential for us now. Our little cave person brains don't accelerate, whereas this does. And I think it would be great to be educated. So this is Astro Power, a simple guide to prediction and destiny for the modern mystic. I go in depth about a lot of things. Super interesting, if I do say so myself. So pick up a copy of that to learn more.